Hello to second part of Split Persona Studios commentary. Once again, I am here with Joey.
Yeah, hello.
I'm with Adam.
It's so blue.
And also with Holly.
Hello.
And this is Robert talking, if I did not say that already. This is not helping where I'm trying to go soft and it's like I'm seeing this sketch where it's supposed to be calming. Okay. This is an inside joke right here.
About this.
No, this is an inside joke. Let me see if I can quickly tell it.
I think you need carpeting in order to get a proper static shock.
No. I'm doing it for the squeakiness and the slipperiness of the floor. But main story about that, many years ago, I think in high school or middle school, where every now and then I would kind of just do that, where it'd be like squeaking back and forth. And that would be we call it the weenie walk. We used to do it a long times, and it was just like, for this I had to bring it back after not doing it for years. Now this part right here, this was Adam, that was your suggestion. It's like something to do this.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Muppet Man.
Okay, for this video, I had to buy a new mic, and for the audio stuff, and it's like, okay, let me just experiment with all this audio stuff. And I figured, what would be the best thing to do with this mic? It's like, oh, you're like video commentary and everything. And I saw like all the people who do like all the narration stuff. It's like, okay, there must be a day where like something messed up, and this is where that got inspired. But also, it also got me inspired by two other sketches that do something like this, where it's like something's happening, but something's like screwing this up in the process. So it's like, let me just work on that sketch.
I think it's a little bit close this time again.
Yeah, again with the chopping off the top of your head.
Perfect.
I mean, squirrels are fun.
I don't remember
like
seeing
the
a
color
red squirrel
scheme.
like that before.
Oh no, they're rare, just like the black squirrels.
Yeah, we mostly got gray squirrels.
No, start back at the beginning. I don't want to start here.
And it was funny because like during all this, like I knew this had to be like stock footage stuff, but then it's like, okay, what am I doing with all the other sketches? Like this little bits part. Okay, this
There's a lot
part
of
right
good
here.
uses of filters.
Actually, this part right here, this technical standby, I had to do that in a program to make this because I couldn't actually download it somewhere. It's like, Adam,
What?
Wait, you mean you made
what are
yourself?
you doing? I'm hearing this in the background.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can neither confirm or deny the accusations against me.
Well, it's you can have the static sound from me getting a Hall's cough drop, or you can have me coughing into a mic. Your pick.
I am up to no nefarious purposes.
Oh, the best thing about
Twitter and
the best thing about this part is I literally did shave, and like the rest of this clip is actually like a video review of this razor blade. So
Oh my
whoever
god,
want-
your hair is so
Okay,
like
full version.
bouncy.
You're so fluffy.
Actually, the funny part about this sketch is the three voiceover videos I use for this, and the best part about it is the three names I use in this Jeff, Andrew, and Justin are like another group of friends whose name I just needed, and it's like, okay, I just need to come up with a name quickly and just spew out whatever comes to my mind first.
I was wondering if
these
it
kind
was-
of remind me of the scene in the second Wreck-It Ralph movie where he's trying to like
There's no sound on this.
do all these different things in order to earn the money to buy the thing, buy the MacGuffin.
Hey, look, it's your mug.
Hey!
It's a porky mug.
Well, I would find out if we could.
I was wondering if the names were related to anything.
No, I needed because right here is supposed to be like a commercial that you don't hear the audio for. So it's like, okay, I need like an item to use it, and it's like, oh, portkey cup. Trying not to be the portkey from Harry Potter. It's just, oh, let me just do a portkey cup because it's. Oh, I should have done portkey chalice.
Yeah.
How did you get the voices for this, though?
I literally. Well, Justin's voice is just my regular voice. Andrew's voice, I had to go like, it was something like this. I had to go like this and kind of just go back and just make this voice.
No, you did it like this. You gotta be serious with this.
You want meatballs, hun?
No,
Here's
No,
your lunch
you gotta do
special.
like this way. It's all soft and sorry.
But what I had to do for Jeff's voice. No, for Jeff's voice, I had to make it sound like I'm a dumb person. It's like, yeah, this whole thing is not working, Justin. We have to restart this entire thing.
Okay.
Just like something like that. Like those were like my two distinct voices I had to use.
That's what I heard. That's how it sounded to me.
Oh, but first you don't succeed, crap on your head.
You guys are mean. I mean, look at this stunning footage. I did a great job filming this. I recently just had to get a
Whose helicopter?
well, that one I had to get a very high quality
Hang
drone.
gliding for this one.
Oh.
I would say drone. I use a drone with like
Hang
a.
gliding's much more fun though.
I see people.
Actually,
I
I
see
have
a
yet
towel.
to do that. I want to do that as like an extracurricular activity. Like,
I
should
see
go hang gliding.
mountains.
There's a town over there.
Wait. Do you think if I actually go through, I might actually be able to fit in
One
there?
day, one of us is going to take a vacation, wind up in this spot, and we'll be like, Rob.
And it's like, am I watching this video again?
Yes, it has been. Yeah.
No, after I realized this, it's like, oh, it's not like you're live on TV. It should be like live on YouTube or something. But it's like, oh, live on TV. It's like, how did I get on TV? It's like, wow, that's amazing.
Now that I think about it, the infomercial part of it could have also had music in the background, the way that this one has music in the background.
No, I think
it's
that's
like the Plants Baseball instant video where you have the YouTube video before you finish recording it.
So look, that's my new mic.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you do not accidentally hit the live.
Okay, I had to also play like this ending where it's like it's a continuation of just like let's say like the Robert from Jar Productions is like listening to this, so it's like okay, here is like what people like those reaction guys, how people would react to something. So it's like I had to end it like that.
I heard that pow.
I know what Adam first saw. He's like,
All
don't do
about
that
the
again.
pow.
Yeah, like totally, dude.
Well, I was in character to trying to figure out what this guy would do. Ooh,
It's all
I could
about,
resist.
my favorite ending to this.
it's all about the pow.
My favorite ending to this. Yes. Yes, you are.
I'm telling you, Freddy is the backbone of this channel. he's like mini Xavier. He just keeps appearing once in a while.
Here's sound effects. So these little shorts, going back from part 1, where it's all just like stuff that I can use on my editing program. This was like all stuff that I recorded within like almost the same day, and you'd be like, okay, I can release them like maybe a month in advance, and it was always like, I think I released the first one on Monday, and then after that it was like, okay, 4 weeks to a day just to alternate it, and it just continued that process. So it was like every
Reminds me of a scene from Funny Bones.
it does.
Reminds me of a soundboard that I have at home.
Kind of reminds me of the
Except
fact
this-
when I used to do I do different like ringtones and everything else. Mm-hmm. And I found the perfect one for like my best friend, where it was actually the Hellsing abridged.
Ooh.
Yeah,
For
it
those
was
who
funny.
do not know, it's an anime that people dubbed over stuff. Now these sound effects most of them are like stuff that's in the program. I know anywhere else you could easily import and download from like other places.
Beep, beep, beep.
So here you
Watch
go.
your
This is just like
language.
having fun.
Beep beep. Get to the chopper.
And the idea, well, the idea is that like when I'm listening to this, it's actually I can hear it outside of the phone, but like around the area. So it's like somewhere in heaven, like where the narrator would be. That's where it was happening.
Like it's actually happening.
Yeah.
So at the time, you're
That was
just
the idea.
like you're just tapping your phone and counting a few seconds because like you can't hear any of that. That was all put in post.
Yeah, that was all put in post. I had to kind of figure out like what I would do. Okay, this one was fun. This one was fun. This one, I can't remember how I
Oh no, Freddy's
I think
keeping
it's
an
had a
eye on
different-
him, making sure
No,
he's doing his job.
I'm editing the video that hasn't come out yet.
Oh yeah.
See, that's why we're having so much trouble with the computers. You don't have Freddy here to monitor.
That's all we needed.
Okay,
It's an SPS conspiracy theory.
this one was just like fun to do because it was like, okay, I needed something where it was like,
It's
the
an
idea of-
excuse to walk around with your new Nerf blaster, your
Well,
new Saturn.
Oh yeah.
that too, but it was also like an idea where, going back to part one where the one video was like, oh, I needed certain like these characters be cameos, and I'd be like, huh, where do they all live? And it kind of had to play where it's like, oh yeah, they're here. So I hear something, and it's like, oh, I'm searching. But there's a point later where they question like, he does know we live here, right? And that's a point made in here. And some of these things are like done 3 times. I actually was doing one of the takes, and my dad came home. It's like, hey, do you want lunch? During the middle of the takes, like, yeah, but I'm shooting something. It's like, oh, sorry, I didn't know. It's like, of course.
We need like a caution tape, but instead it says recording in progress.
No, I actually have a thing that says like if I'm like in a room or somewhere that says filming in progress. So I do have it.
Okay.
Just the cocking of that. It's like, and right inside there's like I think either one ball in there or there's nothing. It's just happened to be there.
That's his favorite thing to do because he's ready to shoot somebody.
I love the music in this. It's so like
It's some
perfect.
neat music.
Thank you. I had to find something that was like sneaking around. I found this like I'm like what I would find like in an action movie. I just had to go with it since it's so good.
Wouldn't it be funny if you found a bunny?
Nah. He just keeps going. It's like
Robert does know you live in here, right? I mean, we are a part of it. I don't think we just pop in whenever he visits us. I mean, it's so obvious that we live here. I don't know why he doesn't see them in person.
now I have a question when creativity is writing something. What is he writing?
Just let him use his imagination for once.
It's
But I
running
love this
along.
book, Berlin X. I got that book from studying abroad. I think that was my Christmas gift from the dean. For some reason, like I'll have to tell that story on another point. But just the idea, it's like, oh no, there could be more. Okay, this video blew up on YouTube once I posted it. So I needed an idea for Halloween, and at this point, it's like I had no idea what I wanted to do for Halloween. And it's like, well, my silent films were usually good, and like my Home Alone was pretty well. It's like, let me try something with this for not Home Alone. And this one I filmed maybe in 30 minutes. And it was that point, it was just like, all my family is like upstairs. Like, okay, I need this quiet. I need this house quiet so I could go down and just film this. And it's hard, like when you're doing films like this, you can actually sometimes in the background hear the mic. That's hear people from up there. It's like, guys, please be quiet so I can film this little sketch for a few minutes.
Your family must think it's annoying sometimes.
And my folks were like pretty upset that like on the left is like photo albums of like my entire family, and it's like we don't want to see that. And during the editing, it's like, can you like blur that? I went to try to blur it, and it's like it was so much trouble trying to blur it that it was as easier to just not blur it.
And
But I also like in here. Sorry to interrupt, but I also like in here that's like maybe there's someone else in this house besides him, or like this is not his house. You know?
that zoom-in they had before to, I think, a closet or a hallway lasted a little bit longer than I expected. Because it zoomed in as much as possible, held there for a second, and then went to the next thing. I thought it was going to just end as soon as the zoom is done.
No, I think that was editing thing on my part because it kind of moved on, but I think it also like jerked a little bit, so like a little continuation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that must have been my mistake, but everything's still good here. Having to go through like all like spooky ghost stuff to just like find it all.
Oh, if you want real ghosts, I can summon them.
Nah, I
They're
think
not known for being photogenic.
Mm.
No, but I could get some tricksters to kind of like, work with your video if you like.
Everyone don't think it'd be CGI.
nah.
No, they wouldn't be that bad. They're just little pranksters, little kids.
No, I think I like this because the reason behind this sketch
Dun,
was
dun, dun.
was just this little guy right here, but also in the next shot you'll see like one thing.
What am I looking
This packet. So, at work during the holidays,
it's
mostly
awesome.
like it's a little pack of candy that it says what's it? You're spooktacular. This is like at work they get all the like HR girls just gave it all of this, and I saw that.
Yes!
Freddy.
I can't tell you how happy I am seeing him again.
Hold on, it gets better. I'll continue the story after this. Just wait for it. And look at it.
He's gone.
And seance.
More of them.
More Freddies.
It's a seance.
And the park key.
They killed the Cree.
Okay, so back to my story. So they gave us this thing, and it's like, oh, you're spooktacular, and it's like, okay, I need to do something with this trick or treat video, and it's like, so what if I did something where someone's playing a trick on me, and then looking at, oh, here's my apology for tricking you. That was kind of like the idea behind it. I think it came out really well. And then it was like at that point, it's like, okay, it's the late holidays. Holidays are coming up. Let's see if I could promote the heck out of this. And it did really well, like after Halloween and like into Thanksgiving and a little bit of Christmas because it kept popping up anywhere.
Maybe another minor thing, but maybe as you were walking away, have a few turns back of like, nope, making sure nothing's following you.
Oh my god, that is funny.
All right, for this one, I had to put in so many audio things just to make it sound like I'm doing a fighting game. I literally just stayed there doing nothing. And it's like, okay, I gotta pretend to do something. So it's like, okay, let me see if I can fake a video game, like something similar to like Mortal Kombat or a more like Street Fighter. And it's like, can I do this? But also around here, this is kind of like where the whole surge of having more visual and sound tell a story than actual audio stuff.
And dialogue.
And actually, I want to ask you guys, since I've been talking a lot, how do you think those translate? Just like those, this type of video versus like a full audio written sketch.
I think the audio sketch it does a better job of conveying the point of it. Like with some of these, it takes a while before we realize what we're watching and why. So like if you're gonna do one like this, you might need to do either a voiceover or a text-based introduction, so that people know what and why.
Hi, Eric.
We saw Eric just pass by to go somewhere. Alright.
I feel like there has to be like a ratio between ones with dialogue, ones without, and the ones without almost seem a little more special when they're less frequent, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I know that it would take a little bit more to try to illustrate that, to get the point across with it, so it's, regularly going to be less.
Right.
It's going to take more time for that kind of thing compared to another one that's scripted.
Okay. But I know in this one there is some audio, but it's like supposed to be like in the background. That's actually a thing. Where like in our household, it's like always like, okay, we have to rake leaves. And this is like like we always as a kid did not like the idea. It's like, oh, we get to rake leaves. Like, that takes out of our weekend. So my mom put it away. It's like, oh, it's family leaf day. just to kind of reword it so it's nice.
But in a sense, you guys all hid.
No, actually, as adult, it's like, you guys ready for family leave day? And we ones who say it to our family members. It's like, you guys ready? It's like, well, I guess. It's like, great! And it's always them trying to, it's also like us and like mom and dad trying to figure out like when we want to do it. Tuned in radio. This one was fun. Because for this one,
It sounds like Superman.
A little bit.
I think for this one was very interesting because with this one, I actually had the radio turned on, and it's like, oh, I don't have the license for any of these songs. So I had to go back in the audio and cut out and turn off all the music that was in here and just replace it with all the songs on my program and other songs on like I could find on this one website I have for most stuff I use for my audio. Like mostly I use a place called Epidemic Sounds, and that's where I get a good chunk of my music and sometimes audio sounds for what I need. So this mostly helped me with like on certain
That
areas
one's a
where
good one.
yeah, thank you. I kind of like try to figure out like what songs they were and just be like, okay, what could be a good translation of that? Just like pick up a truck drivers. I don't know. How did you feel when you guys first saw these SPS shorts?
Some of them I was confused. Some of them I was kind of into it.
Like which ones?
Like the last one, I was very much like, why am I watching this? This one, at least, I understood what you were doing, and
Okay. Because I know, like I said, for these, it was always like I had to have one device that I had in my hand, and it was either like doing something that would be based on my audio thing that I was doing. So it's like this one's like, okay, I have I have like a quote magic radio, and you'll see how it is technically a magic radio. And for this one, it's like when I actually pulled it out, some of the music did lag until it turned off. So it's like I had to keep it like that. And you see how like in the background, that's actually the background of my backyard. We had like a lot of mosquitoes, so it doesn't translate when like you cut out the audio for everything. And here's a callback to Creativity's music. I like that part. And it's like,
reminds me of the scene from Guardians of the Galaxy there during the credits.
oh, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for this one, I thought like, okay, for anybody who has seen my stuff and seen a callback, it's like, okay, let's see how that works. What was next? Oh, this
That
one.
one was okay.
Okay, so this one was like an idea. Hold on.
So today I actually went through some of my old footage of what I had and some of my old boxes I had in the attic.
Sorry, people. I'm actually listening to the audio, what it is, so I can have like an idea, figure out how I made this.
And I thought today would be your
Is that a green screen or just happens to be green?
No, that is my actual green screen.
Okay.
I actually got a green screen for my birthday, like after that, and it was like, yeah, I don't know how to do green screen, so I'm just gonna have the green screen to have something different. Because when the video starts, like right here, you have the standard background, and I couldn't have it be like, oh, two different places at once, you know? I couldn't have them like be. Now for this one, I had a video sketch idea where it was called "Filming is Hard." I think the idea of this was like two different ways, where
Do's and don'ts.
pretty much it was almost like a do's and don'ts type of film, and it's like, well, a lot of people, it was mostly like the idea. It's like, okay, I've seen these sketches that is like these ideas that is not a sketch. So can I turn this into a sketch? So I thought of like a good story premise to this would be, oh yeah, you are doing a project for do's and don'ts, and it's like, okay. And here, like, you also see like all the new attachment stuff I got for this camera. And that idea pad right there, that's actually the ideas I use for all my videos and all stuff.
Well,
So it's
let's
kinda
just hope
there.
you don't lose that pad, or else you'll be in trouble.
Oh no, I purposely make sure that like it's on my person everywhere I go. And if I'm like going out somewhere where I could use the idea, I take it out. Now,
Why do I feel like I've seen this set up in one of the previous slides videos?
no, it's literally the same idea. I like because when you're working in a house where we are family members, there's only limited spaces you can actually film at, and I don't have like anywhere else. It was not really good outside because all like the outdoor noise, and I don't like filming downstairs because of the whole not very good lighting, and just like you have like the noise of like the generator, washing machines, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But at first it's like, let's try to just continue some stuff. And here's some stuff right here that I like this whole one and stuff. And then like there's a part right here that it just happened like that, and it's like, let's leave this in, that whole pro tip thing. But
I've had that a few times while recording or for either video or podcast. I think I left it in for one video just for the fun of it.
I know another thing is like, for this is almost like an actual depiction of how I actually film things. So it's kind of like also like showing you how I actually do things and what I should and should not do things. So it's like, well, I'm also trying to do like a whole thing where it's like, this is how I should, but I'm not.
Huh, that kind of reminds me of another thing we actually did, doesn't it, Brick?
Mm-hmm.
Adam, what do you think?
I'm just trying, listening along, waiting for, more commentary options.
Alright, so we were just listening to it. So, yeah, that's kind of true, where it's just, I try to have an idea on, like, what exactly, it's almost like, you look at something, you look at the script once, and then you go down, like, what am I supposed to say again?
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot.
Every time I look at the script.
Yeah. Oh, that
There
also,
must be a
Get with
script.
that.
well, for me, it's like, how I did it, I was like, the script is always, like, in my head, so it's like, I have the idea, but there are times where it's like, I do need to have things. I know for, the one, like, Not Home Alone, that had, originally had an idea script, but when I had to do the sides, when I was at work, I had to figure out, okay, I need an actual script for these guys, because can't probably just improvise it. So for that one, I just took like a scrap piece of paper I found at work and just quickly wrote the lines on what they would say, and then do some quick adaptations from when I was at home to just film this. And for that, I actually filmed those parts before I had to go to work.
I swear, we're gonna hook you up with a jar, like one of those square jars, but it's gonna be the chopped off the head jar. Every time you have the camera too low or too close, so you chop off your head.
I also like it how like every time you like look at the bed, there's always something different on it. It's so fun. It's like you can see like the progression throughout like my YouTube days, and it's just like, oh, how like the different pro tip. This one I think was added last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. I try not to show people exactly where I live because I fear this. That like some fan is just gonna come to my house and be like, "How did you find me?" It's like, you don't want to know, but it's great to meet you. It's like, cool.
Don't worry.
Why are you here?
If any fan shows up at your house unannounced, I guarantee you it was Holly's idea.
Well, in these things, I try not to. When I have the two sides video where it says I'm somewhere in New Jersey. That's basically saying, yeah, I'm somewhere in Jersey to kind of give like the illusion of like where I could be. I know there's a YouTuber who's in New Jersey as well. I think Southern New Jersey, and he would have like
no, we're actually in Ontario.
no, but he would have like this one YouTuber. He would have like vlogs every now and then on his channel and be like, oh, I had fans come to my property. I had fans break in. And it's like, that's a good reason why I don't publicize where I live. Or like if I'm going like showing like, if there's like a shot that goes to like my street, you don't actually see the street. You don't see the name of the street on the signs. So like you really don't know like where I am. And if I have to show you from the front, it would be somewhere at an angle that you can't see anywhere else but just the house. So I got really keen to be like, I can't show anybody where I live. If it's like, if I move like somewhere else, maybe I can, but I don't want like any people try to come to my house looking for me and it's like, oh, my family's answer is like, how do you know them? It's like, oh, I'm just a fan. It's like, okay, Robert, did you do this again? It's like, I don't know.
Well, do you know you'll now have obsessed fans searching every backyard in New Jersey trying to find rumors.
I don't want to point out which video it was, but I could have sworn I saw something, not quite an address, but maybe a name that was in the background of a video.
Oh no, that was my family last name. But I think for
let's
that,
not forget the fact that there's nobody that's gonna get close to you because they gotta get through me first.
good point. But I think like after a while, it's like I made sure that like no one just has to come to my house. But this one, I think I had like an idea for my original idea for this video, because I originally had an idea for this video where it was going to be out in the open, and it was like out in my backyard doing the same concept. But then I saw it, it's like, oh, it's raining, so I had to fix it to be an indoor thing. And from that point in, this entire sketch kind of just evolved one improv idea at a time. My dad loves this sketch, and he was like, you know, I'm upset that I didn't think to send this to a specific person for like something. It's like, well, maybe. And wait, you're forgetting something? You can't forget the coffee cup. There you go. You gotta drink that coffee. How many of you guys seen this sketch?
I have.
Fud up.
I don't remember when I last
How'd
saw
you
it.
guys think this happened when like you first saw this? 'Cause I had a blast making this.
I was just waiting for you to turn to the camera and go,
We're hunting turkeys.
Oh, that was something I could have done.
That would be
You
cool.
could have done that. That would have been perfect.
But this one, no, when I like came up with this idea and saw that I had to do this, I knew automatically this had to be like Looney Tunes-esque video, and it's like it just had to be. Like almost every idea that came up, it's like this had to be this way, and I was happy. And the one scene that's after that, I think my folks came home from something. It's like, are you having some sort of dinner without us? It's like, oh no, it's part of the sketch. So I think I told them I was doing this as I'm setting up, and then they left for something, came back, and it's like, oh, you're still working on this? Like, oh no, I'm done.
it's got the most ludicrously small stock.
Well, this is the
Oh, he man of the family. He gotta get dinner.
well, this is that's the stock blaster that it came with it. So like that's all part of it.
Oh, I know.
I figured like since it's like a sniper thing for like hunting, I had to use this. This part was just great.
How did you get it to move? Is my question.
One hand holding the thing, one hand holding the
Okay,
phone.
so how to make this stand up was I had because basically the turkey is a hat. If anybody didn't notice, I actually had to draw that and write it
That's
as
great.
like a little kid would do it.
I like it.
But going back to the turkey, so the turkey hat is just a hat. So what I had to do was I had to put something in the turkey hat, so it kind of like had fluff, and then I kind of just had my hand in there, and I just had the camera just go straight to follow the turkey, and I literally just walked backwards, just straight. I think I had to do that shot 5 times to make that right.
I do like the use of the
we don't
music.
hunt till it's close again.
I do like the music used in the background back there. That it was. There it is again.
This one?
That
No,
it was.
no, actually-
that was a sped up version of what I'm used to hearing it.
No, yeah, this is a sped up version of the one I used for filter change. Mm-hmm. It's the same audio. I just sped it up, which is great because it totally mixes that cartoony. There's actually there was another song I wanted to use with this, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure out how to download it from iTunes to this program or download it from Spotify to this
Or to
program.
put cookies
So at
and
that
puff
point,
all
it's
over.
like, so at that point, I got fed up. It's just like, oh, this part.
There's a few times he flies back and forth. I think he actually is flying.
This
Like the legs are almost consistently like arced.
No, for that part, I had to. What I had to do, I had to literally throw the hat across that area, and then just run. And I had to go back, throw it again, and I had to do that like so many times. I think this part was reshot because the first time I did it, and I did not like the camera angle. The camera angle was messed up. So I had to restart the redo it again with the camera angle, like on a different day. But I think what is it? The turkey shot that was shot as like the day this was originally filmed. I think like everything up to this point was like originally filmed. Even like the next scene that was filmed in one day. Just this scene alone had a different day. This part has like a good message that I like. I mean, it makes sense, and it's actually really cool. I can't remember all this, but for this music, not this music, but for this audio, I had to go all over all the stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
You're interrupting my
He's-
stories.
He's like a little bit of a running
I
gag.
expect to see like a bowl of popcorn or
Well, I
know
did
Bill's
not.
eat Thanksgiving.
I did not have time to actually make stuff. I figured it would just be there. Like an imaginary. Like this guy. Everything he's doing is in this guy's head. So I mean,
I guess.
I don't know. I did not want to spend hours or do something to actually make it. If anything, I could have used my leftovers and that was fine. But at that point, it was just like, I want to get this done so I can get it in time by the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Let's not forget, you said this is a commentary, sweetie. So if you
It's
don't want us to
commentary.
talk while you actually tell the story, you got to realize you asked for our opinions.
Yes, but I was in the middle of telling a story. You said, Freddy! Anywho, we don't want to have good things. This thing. I had this idea for a while where I wanted to do letters to Santa Claus. I think for this
I
part...
see Freddy.
Yeah, Freddy's always... Well, actually, I
And
have Freddy...
the
actually,
other one from the Halloween episode.
Actually, what I do is I have Freddy on there, and I think I have Golden Freddy on there. So, like, there are two Freddys around. I just love that there's, like, no music as he's trying to move this. But, like, the idea for this was, okay, I'm writing a letter to Santa Claus, and I'm so selfish. I need to figure out a way to be selfless. And at that point, it was just like, I think it just wrote itself. I think all of this was improv. And for the writing on the this was hard for like this editing thing. I'll talk about this in a bit. But like when I was writing the letter, it was just like, oh, I could do a pen, but I think my original shots were to be with an ink pen, like an actual like quill and ink with a feather. But after doing that, it just took forever to write it. So I think I just whatever the shots I have here is just what I used. But most of this stuff is like kind of what I wanted on my Christmas list, just everywhere. I think you were gonna say something.
Yeah, so I think I get what you're going for in adding these scenes in, that it's a long list. I think what could have improved it is having some of it fading in between each of them, as opposed to just stacking on top of each other. That's at least a method I've seen before when something like that is done, where it's something taking a long period of time that's just kind of fading in and out of the same scene but different things.
I think that was one of the original ideas, but when I was looking it over, it's like this video in general is like 10 minutes long.
I think it would have been much better if you sat there and you you read it, but then you took that whole section and did at a higher speed. So like,
Ooh,
That too.
that would have been a good
I think
touch.
that would have made it and would have added just a touch of comedy into it because. Like when your stuff is funny, it's very funny, and when it's somber, it's very, or when it's very serious, and it's like there has to be a happy medium.
I feel like for this one, I wasn't trying to go that much comedy. I think I was trying to focus on like the somber and kind of having what the true spirit of Christmas is. And I think as I was even writing this, I was like pulling my own heartstrings as I was in the edit room just listening to this. It's like, I'm so good at making myself have feelings for my own stuff. At that point, it's like, I gotta do more of these. Then I gotta do, in 2021, make some dramas that like also pull your heartstrings. But I'm not good at writing dramas. I'm good at writing comedy instead. I'll have to find someone to like help me write some dramas. And maybe like also co-direct with me to do some drama.
You know, it took me a while with this video because a couple of times it looked like it was fake.
What do you mean by fake?
By watching it multiple times, actually seeing whether or not you really were selfless. Because you look like you were acting more selfless, even though I know you are selfless yourself.
Well, actually, for these shots, what I did was I had one camera shot, which is like this shot, and it was like, all right, let me run through it once or twice, just what I wanted to say, because I had bullet points somewhere on what I wanted to cover, and how I went about it was just improv. And it's like, okay, let me try to do the same thing, more improvised in a different shot, and I just did that, and it just went back and forth. Having all this footage be like 10 minutes each, it's like, okay, let me break up each bit and label what each part, like the main topic was. And then with that, I had to create a story from it. So this one, I had to create a story and then create another story just for this serious part, since every take I did was not the same. And one sounded better than the other, depending on the angle. So I had to try to figure out which angle worked and just focus on that throughout this entire thing. So this was a really one to try to figure out. Not like music-wise, but more like trying to convey the story.
Well, as I said, my tip in the next one is actually show something that is actually more your feeling. So in things, when you're doing this, think of something that you really, really think is selfless, or think of something that really makes you sad, and it'll bring out the emotion a lot more.
I'm not really good at like that type of acting, because I'm like many years ago, like I was an actor. For those who don't know, outside, and it was just whenever someone always tell me,
Quotey there.
well,
Yeah, I think Adam and I are the ones who picked that up.
most of my professors and everybody always knew that I was good at comedy because of my happy personality. I was able to just do that. But I always had difficult when I had to be in the moment, serious drama, where they always say like, oh, you have to feel this emotion. It's like, well, I don't have a trigger for that. You have to create one. How? You gotta do this. That's easier said than done when I am more of a happy, look on the bright side kind of person, and it's hard to create a trigger for something that's bad because I haven't had that type of memory to help trigger it. So at that point, it's just a little difficult. But I know that's one thing I need to work on, is try to figure out how to be more of a method actor and try to convey more emotions and not try to fake something, but more of like try to think serious and deliver it serious.
Well, serious I wouldn't say more as much as emotion. The emotion of most people actually comes out more depending on what that trigger can be. Sometimes you have to think of it as like your favorite character dying. And that'll trigger easy.
I am never
Too
that
late.
selfish and greedy. What was that, Adam?
Too late.
I mean, that is true.
You're selfish, but you're selfish in a different way.
Actually, there is a video that we're going back on a topic on execution and everything. How do you think this executed with the final thing after seeing it again?
Well, I'm like, you're from the technical aspect, the lighting is pretty good. Your camera angle is actually, we can see you. We don't, you're not chopping off your head or losing the entire hat. So from that aspect, it's definitely improving.
What about like premise and story wise, like the other half?
You know, I bet there are some things in here
It kind of gets a bit preachy.
that
And I know a lot about preachy. I'm a pastor, so yeah.
Well, I know there is one video in here that, after looking about it, I am not happy with the execution, and I think it could have been way better. It almost feels like a lot of things are happening at once. They're trying to balance, like, what people should focus on the other. You'll see it in here. But, don't worry, we get some more, better stuff in here. There's actually one video that has a good story to it, and 2 videos in here. 2 is a good story, 1 is a bad story. But we'll get to it soon, kids. I had to bring this guy back. I had to bring him back. And plus for Christmas, at work, we got this hot chocolate stuff. So I had to add this little bit where we're doing a hot chocolate bit.
But how did you make your hot chocolate? That's the question.
Oh, that's just hot water.
Wait, what?
That's hot water.
How
That I
about
use.
2 parts wrong?
I don't see how anybody can make hot chocolate from just water. It's milk.
No,
Powder.
no, I did not. I did not literally make hot chocolate to get the effects of chocolate and for the bit to make it sound like I'm actually drinking something. I literally just made hot tea in a cup
Without a
just-
tea bag.
with no tea bag and just drank it, thinking that kind of like giving the illusion that I am drinking something. Oh look, I got a nice little snowy effect over these guys.
Snowy. Snow.
I figure like it's like Christmas, around like December. I feel like I should do something fun.
What?
You were sleeping.
No, I wasn't. I was listening.
I saw you sleeping. Okay,
Sleepy
this one took me 2 months to do.
That is high pitched.
Very high pitched.
I'm sorry, but this one took 2 months for me to do. The reason why, I had one bit. Basically, you all seen this video, right? So like, there's a bit where Robert goes and like you seen that like, because originally here it's like, oh, he's like drinking some hot like some eggnog, right? The original script when I made this back in October, it was supposed to come out for October, but originally it was him eating cookies. And somehow like in November, like towards the end of November, it's like, okay, I want to try to get this video out because I had time in between videos. And at that point, it was just, yeah, that video is lost. But then I had Morality's part, who's right here, with his bit. His was the mic wasn't on, so I was pissed that I had to reshoot everything. So at that point, it's like, all right, I had to redo this again, and then find another night to reshoot this again for the last part. This took me way too long just to do. At that point, it was just like, okay, let's just try to get this done, over with, and be going our merry way. I think there's also supposed to be another ending to this where it's like you see Morality be like, Morality be like, I did a good job today. And now this one was made because I created a magic wand from a piece of limb from our backyard. And this was like, I made that one back at high school, around when like, I think Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows came out. I think part 1. And then I also went to the midnight premiere to see part 2 when it came out. I like this music. It's just like so... Yeah.
And exactly
There's
how many
something kind
wands
of,
do you have?
Charlie Chaplin-esque about it.
It does. And that's like the cute thing about it.
How many wands do you own, my love?
Don't worry. I burned the others I wasn't using. Because at
There
that
was a
point,
lot of
no,
them.
I had like a shoebox or two of all this stuff, and I was like, Robert, what are you gonna do with this? He's like, I'll do something. 5+ years later, they're still there. It's like, well, are you still gonna do with them anything? It's like, I don't know. It's like, well, you can do something. And at some point, I was like, well, I need to like declutter some stuff. So I took those and burned them. This had a weak execution, where for this one it's like workshop challenge.
You were asking us for like inputs on these things, and I thought you were actually going to have a kid.
No, I think the original idea, which I did put in here, was just like a kid who like looked just like me for this one. And actually, this bit right here, the scientist, was after I did the filming of the other two characters, because I did those two first and then the scientist. And the best part about behind the background is it's Andrew in the background from like the narration video from Napa Valley. Just look at that. I had to bring out my old stage makeup kid and actually like pretend to make myself look like a kid. Because I think at this point, it's like, I don't know where I'm going to get a kid, or what kid's going to trust me to have them film and build something. And the one thing about this was that when I had to do the editing of both the... this is from work. I had to... I didn't want to give out the name, so it's like, let's just put a little sticker on top of it to just block all this. Now, for those two, those were filmed separately, and I had to build one first, and I had it on my table that's just, like, very unstable. And I did a bit where it's like, okay, let's just finish building this, like, outside, and then just go from there, because I had, like, a workbench that was just easier. And it's like, okay, I did that for all the characters, and it's like, okay, I had to make this something. I don't know. Do you guys think this? Do you think this episode worked, or do you think this could have been better or scrapped?
I like the concept of it. In the application of it, it went a little like the explanation takes a bit long for them to actually get into it.
Hmm. Yeah. I know, like, this whole thing, like, I think the original idea was supposed to be the adult doing something, and then you take a break and go to the kid. Like, it was supposed to be like a 30-minute episode, but then I realized it's like, well, I don't think people would like a 30-minute episode of just a sketch. So I had to try to chop it down to the best I can of, like, something like 14 minutes or over.
If you do one of these again, we have to get you a wig so that you can be the mom who's doing it for the kid.
Ooh.
We definitely have to get you a wig for it if you do this again. I think there's a lot of potential in this format. We just gotta like give it a little more before it's properly realized.
Yeah, I think it probably will be a while until I've done something like this again. But I'm probably this is just like a one-time thing.
This part I was laughing at.
Yeah, this like actually happened. I think in some of the camera angles, it's like I didn't notice it happen. So at that point, it's like after this was built, it's like, oh, this happened. Put up, and for me, it's like I'm thinking like, oh crap.
Mom, come make the thing.
I think about like the original edit for that episode for a part where like the kid is there. It's like, oh, the volume's like gone, or like be like, is it muted or something? Like, what's going on? But I kind of just left it. I don't know. I think this could have been better, and now that you're looking back at it, it could have been like a scrapped idea.
You know what's even funnier? I love the PJs. It's so cute.
Yeah, no kid would want to wear PJs with a moose is holding a beer. No kid would allow that.
That's very close to my ugly sweater. I've got a top of that's very close to that.
Fun fact. I don't own an ugly Christmas sweater.
I have one of those knockoff ones where it's on a waffle thermal shirt, but it's just got this thing printed on the front.
Ooh.
I don't actually have a sweater.
Oh, I know my sister, who actually got my sister an ugly sweater because I'm present this year. And it's like, well, am I going to get one? It's like, yes, but you have to realize that when the ugly Christmas sweaters go up, they sell like in a snap of a finger because everybody wants one.
This year we found a ugly Hanukkah sweater for a friend of ours.
Mm.
She lost her mind when she saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
And we have a Joey here who is nodding back and forth asleep.
Aw, Joey.
I'm just listening in.
Try
you
to stay
tired?
awake if you can, sweetie.
Is someone tired?
I think somebody
Been
is.
a long day.
I think it's time that we get a blanket and put a pillow for him.
Really? This is gonna stay in the commentary?
Yes. It's going in the commentary. Now just imagine if we ever do this in 2021.
The outtakes. We'll see.
Now just imagine for 2021, we have to film 4 of these.
4.
4.
You're expecting to put more of them out?
Every year.
Well, you hear it here, folks. We're going to be going through this in 2021.
Okay. Well, in 2022. It'll be like same thing like this, but it'll be like one video is like January to March, and then like April to June, etc., etc.
Pray for our souls.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Well, the best part about it is we know exactly what to do. So then next year we could do like 2 videos one day, and then spend another day separate to do the last 2. So let's do that, so we don't have to try to plug out all 4 in one day.
Yeah, we can like get together like in the summertime and do the first 2, and then
Was that an effect on there?
not have to do them all at the end of the year. You could just pocket it and do it at the end.
What was that, Joey?
I was trying to figure out if there was supposed to be an effect between recordings.
No, it was actually just one continuous take that I had to chop up and do
It kinda
a
looked like
merging transition.
Okay.
So it's not you, it's the editing. And it's great because one of these makes an appearance in like another sketch or 2.
Do you have a Lazy Susan?
I have one.
I think so.
Because I feel like a Lazy Susan might help with this kind of B-roll of having something seen up close, but still making it, move a little bit, that you're seeing it around on different sides of it. I mean, the camera panning over it is still fine.
Well, I think I have a Lazy Susan, but it's like on the outdoor table in my patio.
And
So
also
it's like-
trying to keep your arms like on as if it was on a track as it moves across something, so that way it doesn't feel too bumpy as we're seeing it.
But I like
Spoiler, the
but I
kid
like
wins.
But I like that point.
Cheated.
Let's see who wins. And it's
Mom!
Oh, I wanted the adult to win.
The dog.
Oh, I didn't know the dog was in this. Now, when I can hear it, it's
Dog
like
curveball.
I have like the kid as labeled as the kid, and then as the adult, it's just the adult. I don't even address their real names that much. And
I
like
think next year it should be a kid versus a princess.
well, that's true. But I know like this video is also continue to do like there are videos out there where it's like like if are adults smarter than a fifth grader? It's like stuff I seen like YouTube videos like that where it's like a kid versus adult in like cooking, or like a kid versus adult versus painting or drawing, or like kid versus adult like using Legos, etc., etc. Like I seen videos like that, and that kind of inspired me to do this. Mm-hmm. But it was also like the idea at work. If you guys don't know, I work at a Home Depot, and it's at that point it's like every month we get like workshop kits. So it's like when they come out, it's like they come out quick. So at that point, it's like, okay, if I get this kit, I have to just get this now. So at that point, it's like whenever I got the kit, that's when I'm working on the video. That's kind of like how I felt.
We
But,
need more videos like that.
Maybe not like, I feel like every now and then, but like it probably won't be a while until I do this type of video again. Like, so like probably figure out like a better idea and maybe like a better software to help make it better.
I think something like that would be fun to do
this
again,
one.
and maybe add a little bit more of the reality show
Ooh.
sort of feel to it, of like having a scene and then having someone explain their thought process of the scene, kind of like The Office.
See, now I'm looking here at a mattress covered in blasters, and all you want to do is just shoot Joey.
They're all directed my way.
And it's great that like for this, it's like this was like a last minute idea, and it was all like this. Most of this was filmed in one day, and it was like, okay, let me just try to assemble as much as I can to kind of figure out like almost like the idea for like create a blaster and be like, oh, what is that like almost like gamer tag status that it would have, or like some sort of like catchphrase to see what kind of blaster it is.
I
Like a class to it.
I liked how, like, during the course of this video, you end up putting on the rest of your loadout bits. Like,
No, I think that was like a perfect twist where it's like that, and it's like, oh, you're getting ready for an actual apocalypse. And like the ending was also like this whole thing was like improvised, but my mom liked it how like more was added upon my gear. It like just randomly came there. It's like, oh,
at some point you put on the hat. At some point you
Pump
put on
back
the
shit.
thing.
It's called Choose
Look,
Your
it just
Weapon
keeps
and
going.
Prepare
You built
to
in the
Kill.
frisbee to a Nerf blaster. Well done.
The
yes.
bandana's on first.
Yeah, mostly like during this part, I would actually go down, assemble it, and then go back up because you actually heard the audio of just me building it. Mm-hmm. So that was literally up and down. And then before I had to go like in between like a shot, I would put on like the next gear piece on, and just went like back and forth. It's like a simple editing thing you can do. So I literally just did that, and I shot like all of this, like all of the blasters completed first, and then like during this part, I would literally just assemble, go down, build it. And I have like the actual pieces in front of me, so you still get like the sound effect from the mic above, and I just did that for like a couple of minutes.
Yeehaw! Go on, cowboy.
And
Also,
you
I
went
think
down
one point I
so
made for
much.
this is like with every blaster, it had to have like a specific music that went to it. So I think that what made it really nice.
That's fair, giving a little bit more theming to it. I think one thing that might help it a little bit better is adding something else to the visual here. Maybe not showing the entire process of it, but maybe some pieces that are moving, like linking them together, or moving, or like grabbing one and taking it out of the pile, putting one back, whatever the case may be. Because
Alright.
I'm just seeing closet door, or bedroom door actually, so much that I feel like there's something else that needs to be there. Even though you got the sound effects in there.
I mean, I think for this, it's more like, oh, what could he possibly make? It's like you have to try to keep a guessing game. Like, what's the next style he's gonna make?
Let's not
Double
forget, I
trouble.
keep seeing Chica just staring at you with those angry eyes.
Look at that. It's just like, oh, I have this, and now I have a holster.
But those weren't the same ones you just showed. I was looking at two separate blasters, and then the hammer shots came in.
No, but that was the joke. Because also, like, around that point, it almost looked like nothing. This was funny. I thought, like, just a jolt. And, like, this music just made it as, like, oh, this is a joke. I love this song. It's great. It's supposed to be like, you can never take that blaster seriously.
I'm just like, with the YouTube of the same name, that would have been the perfect moment for the Monty Python overture. It would have been the perfect moment, and I know you can get that as a royalty free.
Okay, this.
Zombie Slayer.
Okay, this is what I.
Pasha says that the Zombie Hunter.
Alright, look at that. Look, you also got the mags up now. Okay, this part I had to reshoot, cause I shot it like my first part and like no audio happened, so I was like, great, a separate night I have to refilm this, and for this part it's like yeah, I don't know if I want to shoot a live blaster that's on with in front of my front door, so I got my green screen and I literally just shot my green screen. The anticipation of zombies possibly gonna break into this home. For all who don't know, Holly is scared of zombies.
I am terrified of zombies. I can't even watch even one movie with
And-
zombies in it without hiding behind.
After
freaking
emptying the
things.
drum, he realized that he used a Nerf gun blaster instead of an actual comics. He died shortly after that. He will not be missed. At that point, it's like I had to make a little taglines like, "Yeah, you won't be missed." I think that just
I
like
could see a potential part 2 out of that.
no, now I actually got me inspired to do like the Nerf HVZ series, just because that got me inspired to do it, and that's something we seriously need to keep up and make.
Oh no!
Just
In
as
the-
a
in the
reminder,
next-
people, please be aware there might be a zombie apocalypse. And as much as I hate zombies,
Okay,
I am not
well,
afraid
in
to
the
shoot.
next one, you have to have a new version of yourself in your like full camo tactical, and then have cowboy as the zombie.
Ooh. Okay, for this one, this is literally like the same footage I used for Midnight Snack. There's like a point where like it deviates, kind of thinking it's like, oh, it's the same. It's gonna be the same thing, but I figured like if I had to do this again, it'd be like depending on where he goes, determines on what's gonna happen in the scene, because it's the same thing, and the same lights. Because I used this like early in December, so instead of going this, now I have a Christmas tree, so you know it's now Christmas. And this one, it's like okay,
Christmas.
Alright, this one was my favorite thing to edit in the editing room, just to see this.
Not to be confused with the Hanukkah bush or the Kwanzaa shrub.
It's like I look at this with the blanket. I got like my America blanket. I mean, yes, I have my phone, but I call it a camera. Actually, this video happened was because many years ago when I was a kid, we had my sister's bedroom before before my house was remodeled. We had my sister's bedroom, and we used to do a thing where we would all like have a little sleepover in my sister's bedroom, like during like up to Christmas Day. And there was one day, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna see if Santa's here. So I go downstairs and he's not there. My dad's at the top of the stairs. He's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm checking if Santa's here." It's like, "It's not Christmas." It's like, "It's not?" "Yeah, it's the 22nd. Go back to bed." It's like, "Oh, okay." And I'm upset that like that on Christmas Eve that year I did not do this again. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
seeing like having that, and then also having Midnight Snack. It's like this had to be this sketch. This had to be this. I had to make it because of that.
I'm like, when you're gonna try to catch Santa, you gotta use a cardboard box with a candy cane and then a stick with the rope tied to it.
Oh yeah.
All right, this one I wish I had a better camera angle, because I'm upset about this angle, and I realized that after in the editing room, it's like I should have done this better.
Yeah, it's all maybe half of it.
Yeah.
The premise of it actually reminds me of a Christmas I had a long time ago when I tried to get a photo of Santa. I actually left a camera right by the Christmas tree and some kind of note there of like to get a photo of him or something like that. Either that Christmas or maybe another
Hold on,
Christmas.
Oh no! Don't make me do this.
Count up to 3.
Right now, he's acting like a child. So I'm gonna make him. I'm gonna say like, yes, I'm gonna treat him like a child. All right, continue. Sorry.
So the
As Holly is seeing visions of her future.
All right, no, continue, Brick.
it was either the same Christmas or another Christmas where I actually set up a present for Santa.
Ooh.
It was a handful of small holiday decorations from years before, ones we didn't already decorate the house with, and wrapped it up for him. I don't know. I tried to pay it back to the big man.
Good for you. I didn't do that. For us, we actually left like milk and cookies, and I think one year we left carrots for the reindeer, and they were eaten like the next night.
For many years, as I learned from school, I believe we had like this recipe where it was sprinkles, some kind of oatmeal, something or other, and maybe one or two other ingredients that was sprinkled across a yard for reindeer food. Of course, as a kid, I was always like, but aren't they going to drag the sleigh down?
Yeah.
I had to get it explained to me. I was like, no, they're just going to take off the harnesses, so when Santa's doing his business, they'll go eat and then be on their way.
Now, I know this is not a sketch, but like, this is a video I really wanted to end 2020.
Oh, like somebody was knocking.
I didn't hear anything.
I thought it was me moving in the seat.
Yeah.
That was me moving the seat too.
Them just wiggling.
But for this, I wanted this to be like, I think I originally had an idea for 2021's New Year's where it would be like, it was supposed to be like depicting what type of New Year's promises that people normally make. Were to be like, oh, you have the people who like say something but don't do it. You have the person who fully commits. You have the person who would like kind of commit and then stop halfway through because they found it was hard. And after realizing that was hard and I was kind of running out of time, and I wanted to spend New Year's just by myself and kind of figuring out what I wanted to do for the new year with which is probably on my channel, that it's just, let's just really talk in a vlog sense about what happened. Let's like kind of like a good wrap up for 2020, and let's get ready for 2021. Because it was funny that I actually posted this. I think before a good buddy of mine came over to my house for New Year's, and like he really didn't come. He really didn't come as I was finished. This is like I uploaded it as like I'm getting ready to go to a New Year's thing to celebrate down there. So this is like, I don't know, it's something to like help figure out like almost like me being like truthful, and kind of like that opportunity where it's like, you've always seen me in a sketch, but here's me being myself, and let's just talk about all 2020 as a whole, because for the most part I never talked about that. I only had like one vlog, and it was just like the vlog that was after my art videos. So it's like, I felt like it needed this. What did you guys think?
It's not as bad.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, considering the fact that you at least have something to look forward to. You have something to do. You're doing something a little different than what everybody else was doing, which is bringing positivity, which is a good thing. New Year is technically supposed to be a positive.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, I'm sorry. I can't do New Year's resolutions because I will never stick to them. I'm not going to lie. But that doesn't mean that I don't look forward to doing my health and being a healthy person.
I talked about this on a recent podcast episode, and basically a lot of us agreed that New Year's resolutions aren't, I mean, while traditional, are not too... It's tough to come up with something just to have it for New Year's because it's not going to follow through. If you feel passionate enough about doing something, starting on a new path, or changing something that you've already been exposed to, then you're going to do that any time of year, no matter what, and that's going to continue much longer than January 1st.
Right, and I know like most people, like some of the standard stuff that people do for New Year's resolution was always like, it's like, oh, I'm going to give up chocolate. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And at that point, it's like, that's mostly what everybody does, and yet everybody breaks that rule. Or it's like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. It's like, yeah, you go until you don't have time. Make time, or you spend too much money trying to go. And it's like no one actually tries to come up with like a good New Year's resolution. And that's why I made this video, because I wanted to make like a New Year promise, because at this point I was always planning what I wanted to do for 2021. At this point it was just, let me just tell you that like, yeah, let me just tell everybody what I somehow have a plan for 2021, and this is like my New Year's resolution. No, not resolution.
But it's not really a resolution as much as it's just reaffirming your dedication to the channel and to
I agree.
what you're doing.
Right. So I definitely think this was like something that like had to be done, where like I had to end a good note on the channel with like just a crappy year we've been having in 2021.
Yeah, fair enough to keep it as its own video instead of tacked on to an existing video, so that way it stands out better.
And let's not forget the fact the more positivity we put in this world, the more better things will be.
And I guess for this, it was also like something where like I wanted to keep everybody positive during like this time of. That was a good point. I'm glad I made that point for like, because I do want to build this community up, and it is very difficult to build up a community where you start out from nothing to try to build something. And every time I put something up, I've been trying to figure out new ways to build this community. And I've talked to people on like how to build a community, but I know there's never a right way or like an actual guide to actually build a community. It just forms. And it's just, I know every time I look at the stats of how everybody's watching it, it's like I get like upset where like all the things that I want to happen with this is like not happening, and I have to keep reminding myself that yeah, it's you can't think like that. You always have to think about like it takes time and progress, and like oh here you always see it like oh here's how to do this, here's do that, but it's like okay that's may help like averagely, but you don't. But I haven't found like anything like oh how to build this type. Like I was like oh how to build like a channel. It's like what type of channel? It's like oh how to do a gaming channel, how to do a music channel. It's like can I find how to do a comedy channel? Oh there's no results. So it's like I feel like this video is more like try to get rid of all like the negativity that I have. And probably like everybody else is thinking, it's like, if I'm positive, everybody will be positive. And I feel like that was the message I had to deliver.
And it was a good message considering the fact that not many people remember this, but I'm going to say this phrase. There are a lot of bad things that do happen, but sometimes there are good things that come out of the bad things.
I agree. Wow, we landed on a deep note.
So deep.
Yep.
What do you expect? I am a poet and I don't even know it.
Well said.
She knows it.
I think with that probably will be something that we might want to end on. So as we wrap up this video, I would like to say thank you all for watching and sticking through this all the way. Does anybody have anything to plug before we sign off?
I do YouTube stuff. I'm on YouTube as Maniac for Bricks. Every once in a while I will try to do some sketch stuff, but I'm still working through it. And I do like seeing Rob's development in the series and different things to try every once in a while.
Holly, do you got anything to plug?
Actually, I do. So I am a writer on fan fiction. I am known as Nightmare AJ25, and I'm hoping to get at least one little fan fiction up as soon as I can.
All right. Adam, do you got anything to plug?
And look for our 2021 builds on Garden State Nerf Squad on YouTube and on Facebook.
Oh yeah, we actually have a Nerf thing. We're called the Garden State Nerf Squad. I could put a link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. For myself, you can find me on this channel. You can find me on Twitter. Or all the stuff you can find me is just on my page itself. But yes, thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment. Oh, actually, before I end this, I want to take it back on that one note where you saw my end card where it looks like it was under construction. That's actually like a little hint where it's like, okay, let's try to do something better. Where like since I'm changing something for like a new year, I made like a new end card. So I'm still working on a new end card, but I think what I may want to do is for all my sketches, have a small little intro. And I'm not talking about the intro we used for a one-man YouTuber. I think it's like something that maybe like 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We could talk about that another point. But going back to the ending, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to the world of our existence. All right. Goodbye, everybody, and we
click
will.
the bell.
Goodbye, everybody. Everybody say goodbye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, and we will
Bye-bye.
see you
Bye,
all.
con carne.